The Atlas of MS shows us the many barriers that people with MS around the world face. An early MS diagnosis is essential. Without it, it's impossible to get early treatment that can minimize relapses and reduce future disability. 83%, so more than 3/4 of countries worldwide, face issues that prevent early diagnosis. This means that so often people don't have access to an MS diagnosis in their country. Like Abu Bakr from Ethiopia, who was misdiagnosed many times before being told he had MS. He eventually got an MRI, which was expensive to access, but because MS is not well known in Ethiopia, the doctors couldn't agree on the results. His friends had to raise funds so he could travel to Thailand to get an official diagnosis. And even for those who don't need to travel abroad for tests, barriers within countries can mean that not everyone can access a diagnosis. As Suchi tells us, it can be very difficult to get diagnosed in Indonesia because MRI scanners are only available in large cities, and even then, they are often not always that accurate. Traveling to the capital city for an MRI is not easy for everyone. It takes a long time to get there, and the cost is high. But poor access to diagnosis is just part of the picture. In 7 out of 10 countries, people with MS face barriers in accessing disease-modifying therapies. Even if there are disease-modifying therapies in a country, that doesn't mean that people with MS can access them. Like in Serbia, where strict rules relating to someone's mobility and the number of relapses they have had limit who is eligible for disease-modifying therapies. Ivana tells us that there is a tiny window of time when you might be able to access treatment. There is also a high unmet need for rehabilitation and symptom management. Therapies for invisible symptoms, such as fatigue and cognitive impairment, are unavailable in 4 out of 10 countries. It's essential that people like Gayatri from India can access therapies for invisible symptoms like fatigue. To maintain quality of life, people should be able to access these therapies when they need them. We may all live in different countries around the world with different barriers and different experiences of MS, but together we are stronger. We are the global faces of MS.